Okay. Welcome, friend, and patriots, and comrades. Tonight, I'm going to take you on a journey through past, and future, and present, and future, and present. So life, as we all know, begins with nothing. We start as nothing, and we end up as nothing. But what is it that makes us feel as though we exist? Is it feeling your toes hit the cool, wet floor when you wake up in the morning? Or is it the delightful, smiling face of a dewy grasshopper? Who knows? And that's why I'm here today. Because I know. And I am hoping and I'm praying that, that somebody one of these days will come along and say what this is all about. But until then, we're here. So let's start with the fundamentals of really what it means to be a fish. Because I feel we have to understand where fish come from and how fish have to live in order to really get ourselves, So fish, as we all know, exist only in small pockets of the universe. We can't just say, oh, I want some fish, and reach down and pick up a fish. There's not that many fish. So what we do instead as a society is we go out in search of fish, and we go and get them and eat them. Now, not all fish, obviously, not all fish exist. But what, So obviously not all fish exist. But what if we could create a fish just from, assembling matter from over here and over here and over here? We could make a fish, scoop up some elements and some little things, and make a fish. Science is still considering it. But here today, I'll tell you that it's possible, and we can do it. But for whatever reason, science is still considering it. So what I think is really the problem here is, when will science end? Because science is not linear. It's like, So how can we determine the longevity of science? And if I might, just for a moment, ask myself a question, I think it will better benefit our understanding of this dilemma. Right. So fish aren't real. No fish truly exists. So how can we know that we exist at all? If think of it this way. If a reptile were to be eroding slowly, we see ourselves as a microcosm of a bigger cosm. And how do we reconcile that is the question. I would say that it simply isn't possible, because we, as a society, we cannot process the sort of fundamental organization of an economy within the guidelines of a rainforest sort of biosphere. But we can rectify that just with a simple payment of $3.52 per month. And as we all know, that adds up to $43.91, counting tax. So that's really why I'm here today, because I need, and I want, and I don't want that anymore. So this is a cry for help. Come pick me up, Mom. Kids are drinking alcohol, and I'm scared. This reminds me of a dream I once had, in which I was the lumberjack guy, the big tall lumberjack guy with the big and I was going on my way, just chopping a tree here and there, when along came a fox. Just, a plain, simple fox. Like one of these. And the fox said to me, "Hey there, Mr. Man. I'd like to sell you real estate." And I said, "No, I'm not really one for real estate." And he said, "Well, I'm the best darn real estate salesman this side of Kentucky." Dream took place in Kentucky. I can sell any man any house at any price. And I said, "Well, Mr. Foxman, you talk a big talk, but can you back it up?" And he said, "Well, I'll tell you one thing. This house is free. It doesn't cost any money." And I said, "Well, Mr. Fox, that seems like a pretty good deal. Too good to pass up. I'll take that real estate." And he says, "Great, that'll be $19 million. I said, "You dirty dog." I was swindled that day. Mind you, none of it actually happened. And I think that's a lesson you can really take out on a windy Sunday, when the wind is whipping in the wind, is no matter who you are, and no matter what you do, and no matter where you go, and no matter how you do it, it doesn't matter. Well, I've been sitting here for about 3 years now, upcoming, and I think it's just, it gets to a point, whether that's sharp or dull, it's not my place to say, you know, because I remember, I'm a lot older than some of you folk. I remember when the news, the news was half what it was now. There was half the news per day. And I feel like we need that back because there's too much knowledge now. Everyone's just getting bombarded with knowledge all the time. And I feel like it's making a lot more fools of all of us because we can't handle this constant barrage of knowledge. So I'm here today to ask you to help me shut down every single major news network from CNN to, what's the other one? Yeah, it's that one. Well, I've been Tom Cruise, and I'd like to thank you for joining me today. I'll see you in 7 years when we discuss the logistics and the semantics of pigeon farming. I love you. I love you. I hate you.